All right, great pleasure joining us now. Louisiana Senator, Mr. John Kennedy. Senator Kennedy, as always, sir, pleasure to see you. Thank you for helping out. So before we get into, what's Trump going to do, what does Senator Kennedy think is the most expeditious, most efficient way of trying to rectify the unfair trading practices? What you been thinking about this, Senator?
Lower prices, improve quality of life in America. I think President Trump won this election in large part, Larry, because people felt like he would be better in terms of the economy. What does that mean? That means lower prices, better quality of life. Our plan is to do that in three ways. Number one, reduce spending, which will cause interest rates to go down and stimulate the economy less. Deregulate the economy so goods and services will be cheaper. And number three, design a tax code that looks like somebody designed it on purpose. Now, what role could tariffs play in all of this? The truth is nobody knows. I've listened to economists for the last month. Some say this will cause a recession. His tariffs will cause a recession. Others say it will cause growth. In my 8 years in Washington, what I've learned that for every economist, there's an equal and opposite economist, and they're both usually wrong. Some of these experts make those late night psychic hotlines look respectable.
Yes, sir.
I do know this. I understand where President Trump is coming from. America is the wealthiest country in all of human history. It's consumer driven. Our people like to buy stuff. So the president is saying, let's use our leverage. He's saying to every business in every country in the world, if you want to sell to America, move your business here. I get it. And in the long run, he's right. But in the long run, we're all dead. The short run matters too. And the truth is, we do not know yet what the impact of these tariffs are going to be. We just don't.
Well, he certainly set up a lot of incentives for onshoring. Come on here, build a factory here. We're going to give you immediate 100% expensing. We'll give you a low tax rate, 15% corporate tax rate. I mean, I think that's part of it. My thought in the opening riff was just simply to say that the tax cuts and the deregulation will go hand in hand with the tariff diplomacy, whatever that diplomacy happens to be. I mean, it's going to pay to come here. I think that's a key part of this story, sir.
Well, let me say it again. I believe that the recipe for lowering prices is to reduce government spending, deregulate the economy, extend the Trump tax cuts, and redesign the tax code. I know that will work. I don't know what the impact of tariffs will be. It may be positive, but I just don't know, and no one knows. Here's the best case scenario. The best case scenario is that you're absolutely right, that tariffs cause businesses in the short run to move here. They hire people, the economy explodes. Worst case scenario, the tariffs cause inflation. Inflation causes the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates. That puts pressure on labor costs. People are laid off. We go into a recession. We lose the midterms, and President Trump's 4-year term just became a 2-year term, because if we lose the House, the president's going to spend his last 2 years defending himself against frivolous impeachment proceedings. So that's the best case and the worst case. All I'm saying is, I'm being very candid. No one knows the impact of these tariffs, because in the long run, I think we'll be fine. But no one knows the short run impact.
Well, I think actually, I mean, I would tend to agree with you. No one has a perfect crystal ball short run. I think, Senator Kennedy, I think he's looking long run. I mean, I think he's convinced that we can do much more in manufacturing. I think he's convinced that we've had the short end of the stick. The world trading system has been broken for many decades. The World Trade Organization, isn't it's not worth the ground that it sits on, wherever it sits on that ground. I mean, I think he's looking at it from a longer. He himself has said, and it was interesting that he said it, that there might be some difficulties in the short run. He's actually said that. And, I think Trump would be willing to make adjustments along the way if there are, for example, too many difficulties.
Let me say it again. I agree. I see where he's coming from. And in the long run, if these tariffs cause businesses and other countries to move here, that will be a net positive. I get it. All I'm telling you is that in the short run matters too. It just does. And anybody that tells you that they know what the short-term impact of these tariffs is going to be on the economy has been homeschooled by a day drinker. They're making it up. They just don't know, because we've never seen tariffs in modern history to this extent. No,
roger that. You were mentioning government spending a few minutes ago. Here's a little quick tape of Elon Musk in Wisconsin, Senator Kennedy. Take a listen. It's real fast.
At least for some period of time, we're going to make sure that your taxpayer money is spent at least 15% better. It's not like I think it's a reasonable goal. It's a rational goal. It's a sensible goal. And the net result, I should say, if we have the combination of a $1 trillion increase in economic output and a $1 trillion decrease in the budget deficit, then the outcome should be that there is no inflation or very little inflation.
What do you think of that paradigm? $1 trillion increase in output and $1 trillion reduction in spending will vanquish inflation. What do you think of that, Senator Kennedy?
He's right.
Yeah.
What caused inflation? Joe Biden caused inflation because his favorite type of spending was more. And all that money sloshing around in the economy created demand. And inevitably, we had inflation. If we reduce spending, as Mr. Musk is trying to do, then that will reduce fiscal stimulus and it will lower prices. That's just basic economics. And I'm a big Musk supporter. I think he's doing an extraordinary job. He deserves a personal pan pizza or a nice hat or a cold beverage or something. I don't think he needs money, but I'm all for what he's doing. Is it a little messy? Yes. But, remodeling is messy. But I think he's absolutely correct.
Speaking of spending and tax cuts, how is my one big beautiful bill doing in the U.S. Senate, sir?
We're doing fine. We're going to approve a resolution this week, which is step one. It's a baby step, but it's a meaningful step. We'll probably work through the weekend. The Democrats will they will scream and wail and gnash their teeth and act catatonic, but we'll pass it, and then we'll start putting the bill together. We'll put together one version of the bill. The House will probably put together another version. That's why God made conference committees. We'll go to conference with President Trump's help. We'll come out with a tax code that looks like somebody designed it on purpose, and we'll extend the Trump tax cuts of 2017.
How long is all this going to take, you reckon?
I think we can do it in 3 months. But we don't have the luxury of time. For one thing, we've got a debt ceiling staring us right in the face, and part of our reconciliation bill is going to be dealing with that, so we've got to deal with it. But we'll get this done. And you can write that one down. Take it home to mama. We're going to get this done. We better. Well, the American people expect it.
I'm just thinking, you're right. No one can be certain about the tariff diplomacy, as I'm calling it. But, you know, if you get your spending restraint and you get your tax cuts and you get your deregulation, it can't be all bad, Senator Kennedy. You know,
No,
it just can't be all bad. And it's a
look,
lot
you know
better
what
than what we've been living through the last 4 years.
You know what I'd love to see the president do? I'd love to see the president pick up the phone and call Prime Minister Carney in Canada, who says the president doesn't believe in fair trade, and make this deal. President Trump tells Prime Minister Carney, I will reduce American tariffs on Canada to zero. No tariffs at all. But you reduce your tariffs to zero. And let's let Canadian businesses and American businesses compete and may the best product at the best price win. And let's see what Prime Minister Carney says. No tariffs, either side. I don't want to fight with Canada. That's the best way to avoid the fight. And it accomplishes what President Trump wants. And it should accomplish what Carney wants if he's telling the truth.
That, sir, is my kind of diplomacy. That is terrific stuff. Thank you ever so much, Senator John Kennedy from the great state of Louisiana. We appreciate it, sir, as always.
Thank you, Larry.
You
Thank
bet.
you.